What's up everyone, it's Kevin here, the Migraine Guy, bringing you another video. Today's video is about a condition known as migralepsy. As the name suggests, migralepsy is a condition whereby a single patient experiences both migraines and seizures at the same time. Now, there are a number of conditions where you might experience really bad headaches and seizures that are not migralepsy, but if you are a migraleptic patient, you know just how debilitating both occurrences of migraines and seizures can be. As a migraine sufferer, I know just how debilitating migraines can be when they are at their worst, and so the idea of layering on top of that seizure considerations seems like a much more debilitating condition. Now, the way in which your doctor is going to diagnose you as being migraleptic is right now a little hit and miss. It's even a little controversial whether or not migralepsy is even a genuine term that ought to be used, or whether or not there are better categorizations that ought to be implemented. This is a current debate going on in some of the diagnostic literature. The MDS 4 and 5, I think, are cases where if you read some of the research behind the reasoning for the different terminology, you can see that there is an academic debate going on there. All that being said, migralepsy is a term that we can use to capture the idea of being both a migraine sufferer and an epileptic seizure sufferer. Now, just because you have bad headaches with your seizures doesn't automatically mean that you are migraleptic. For example, if your bad headaches start at almost the same time as your seizure does and ends or resolves at roughly the exact same time, then it's more likely, according to research, that you have a condition known as hemicrania epileptica, and the treatment options for that condition are different than migralepsy. Additionally, if you notice that your headache begins within about 3 hours of your seizure starting and your headache resolves or goes away within 72 hours, you might have a condition known as post-ictal headaches and not migralepsy. So, when do you have migralepsy? What are the timing conditions there? Because it's the timing when your migraine hits and when the seizure hits that kind of makes these distinctions justifiable. If you are a migraleptic, the basis is that your migraine with aura, and that is very important, migraine with aura begins prior to the seizure's occurrence. If you are going to have a migraine with aura and then a seizure, it is more likely that you are migraleptic than, for example, the previous two conditions we just discussed. Now, another important factor is treatment. If you're a migraine sufferer for any amount of time, there is a very high likelihood that your doctor is going to put you on some sort of anticonvulsant to see if that helps reduce your overall migraine frequency. This is very interesting because epilepsy and migraines share very similar physiological responses in your brain. There's that neurological cascading that occurs in both a migraine sufferer and an epileptic seizure sufferer, and so treatment options typically start with one medication designed to treat both conditions, and that of course is best case scenario. It doesn't mean it's actually going to work though, and so you have to be in constant contact with your doctor about how the medications are going and how your symptoms are either getting better, staying the same, or getting worse, and that will of course determine whether or not your doctor wants to keep you on that medication and layer another one on top, or if they want to go a new route. Of course, finding a doctor who can actually properly diagnose your migraine and epileptic condition is very difficult. There aren't many specialists in this area. For example, if you go to the International Headache Society's website and search migralepsy, there is only a single article that comes up. It's a very good article, but there's only one, and it's 8 years old. So finding a doctor who can properly treat you is probably going to be a process, even a longer and more time-consuming and perhaps painful process than finding just a good doctor for your migraines, because migralepsy obviously overlaps two very difficult conditions and two very debilitating conditions. So it's not an easy road to find a good doctor, but it is a road that I know some people at least have found success on. So always bring an advocate for you. Always bring someone who can help challenge a doctor's diagnoses, who can help ask questions about what their treatment plan is if this particular medication works. I know sometimes people feel a little uncomfortable challenging the doctor, so having someone in your corner can sometimes be a good idea. And if it just turns out to have two people instead of one, if you're comfortable doing it, then that at least is a fail-safe to help make sure that you get the treatment that you need, because migralepsy is no joke. Additionally, if you are a migraleptic or a normal migraine sufferer, whatever that means, you can find my support group over on Facebook. Just search the Migraine Guy support group. If you like Twitter or Instagram or Facebook pages, you can of course like those pages as well. I am all over social media, so make sure to check me out. We've got more information coming about migralepsy as well as medications that I'm trying right now, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. If this is your first time watching, I hope you'll hit subscribe. If it is your first time, also hit that thumbs up. We've got some giveaways coming up involving some migraine related products, ice wraps and stuff like that. So make sure to leave a comment below. Also, if you get migralepsy or you know someone who does, I need to know more about this, and there just isn't a ton of research out there about it. So it's a condition that needs to be highlighted, primarily because it's so misunderstood. So let's do some of that legwork and get those comments flowing in the YouTube section. Until next time, remember that you are not alone.